Grocery shopping has become a stressful experience for many. Food prices, already high in recent years, continue to climb throughout 2024. This trend impacts everyone, but not equally. Understanding why food costs remain high requires examining the complex interplay of global events, climate change, and corporate practices. It also demands acknowledging the uneven burden these factors place on different communities. While inflation plays a role in the rising cost of living, food prices are soaring beyond general inflation rates. The reasons are multifaceted. Global supply chains, still reeling from recent disruptions, struggle to meet demand. Simultaneously, climate change threatens agricultural yields, leading to shortages and price spikes. These challenges are compounded by the immense market power of large food corporations, which control much of the food supply chain. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed vulnerabilities in our globalized food system. Lockdowns and labor shortages led to production delays and transportation bottlenecks. These issues continue to plague the food supply chain in 2024. The war in Ukraine, a major grain exporter, further disrupts global food supplies, adding fuel to the fire of rising prices. These events highlight the fragility of a system heavily reliant on long-distance transportation and just-in-time inventory management. The ripple effects of these disruptions are felt worldwide, but their impact is not evenly distributed. Countries heavily reliant on food imports face greater risks of food insecurity and price shocks. Within nations, low-income communities often bear a disproportionate burden. They may lack access to affordable transportation, limiting their ability to shop around for better prices or access food banks. Climate change adds another layer of complexity to the issue of food prices. Extreme weather events, from droughts to floods, are becoming more frequent and intense. These events damage crops, reduce yields, and disrupt livestock production. The result? Food becomes scarcer and more expensive. For example, extreme heat in major agricultural regions like the American Midwest can devastate corn and soybean crops, impacting global food prices. The consequences of climate change on food security are particularly alarming for communities in climate-vulnerable regions. Smallholder farmers in developing countries, often dependent on rain-fed agriculture, are highly susceptible to climate shocks. Their livelihoods are directly threatened by crop failures and livestock losses, pushing them further into poverty and food insecurity. While external shocks like pandemics and climate change contribute to price volatility, the immense market power of large food corporations cannot be ignored. A handful of multinational companies control significant portions of the food supply chain, from seed and pesticide production to food processing and retail. This concentration of power allows them to exert considerable influence over prices. Critics argue that these corporations prioritize profit maximization over food security. They point to practices like price gouging during periods of high demand or supply shortages. Additionally, consolidation in the grocery industry reduces competition, giving large retailers more leverage in setting prices. This situation often leaves consumers with limited choices and higher prices. The consequences of high food prices are not felt equally. Low-income households, communities of color, and rural communities often face greater challenges in accessing affordable and nutritious food. These communities may already be grappling with limited access to grocery stores, forcing them to rely on more expensive convenience stores or fast food options. When food prices rise, these disparities are exacerbated. Food insecurity, defined as the lack of consistent access to enough food for an active, healthy life, becomes a pressing concern. Families struggling to afford basic necessities may be forced to make difficult choices between buying food and paying for rent, healthcare, or other essentials. Children are particularly vulnerable as food insecurity can impact their physical and cognitive development. The persistence of high food prices in 2024 is a complex issue with no easy solutions. It is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our global food system and the vulnerabilities it faces. Addressing this challenge requires a multifaceted approach, encompassing efforts to strengthen supply chain resilience, mitigate the impacts of climate change, and promote greater equity and fairness within the food system. Governments, businesses, and individuals all have a role to play in creating a more just and sustainable food future. This includes investing in climate-resilient agriculture, promoting fair trade practices, supporting local food systems, and advocating for policies that prioritize food security for all. By working together, we can build a food system that is more resilient, equitable, and capable of nourishing everyone. If you found this analysis insightful, please like and subscribe to stay engaged with critical food policy discussions. Your support helps amplify these crucial conversations and drives positive change. Thanks for watching. Please share this video.